is a Thursday, so that means that we do have a live over on YouTube and also Facebook. So if you are out there, please give me a wave. It would be lovely to know that you are here with me this afternoon or evening or morning, wherever you are in the world. So we did have a new release yesterday, which was the Wondrous World, and we did have a lot of new products in there. So they're all standalone products. So we have embossing folders, we have stencils, and also some die sets too. Please let us know your favorites. It would be good to know which you love and which you need to have in your hands to play with. The lovely Joanna will be behind the Ultimate badge. And if you do share this live stream, you are in with a chance of winning a $15 gift certificate to the Ultimate store. So you may be able to pick up a couple of these goodies for yourself. So hello there, everyone. Hi there, Connie, Cece, and Stacy, and also, hey there, Susan. I didn't see you yesterday. So, okay, so thank you everyone for joining me. I'm going to move you guys down now so we can take a closer look at the products even, and let me know your favorites. Okay, so I'm going to move you down to, oh, the wrong one, this one. Okay, I wondered why it looked a bit strange today. Yeah, it didn't pick up that camera straight off. Okay, so hello there, everyone. Thank you so much for dropping in. Again, if you do share this live stream, you are in with a chance of winning a $15 gift certificate to the Ultimate store. Okay, so let's start off with the embossing folders first, shall we? So we have a number of new ones, and I do have some projects too. So this one is the Daisies. It is a 3D embossing folder, so you can see that you are going to get so much dimension on those beautiful daisies that we have there. So that one is the Daisies. Again, that's a 6x6 embossing folder, so you can play around with your placement on that one. Then we have the Flowery Field. I do have another one with this one. Okay, so this one is the Flowery Field, and for this one, I kind of inked up the background and then ran that through my machine. So it's going to give me that. I didn't attach this to the card, so you can see the different look that you're going to get if you can use one side or the other there. Next up, we have the Diamond Stars. And this one is very pretty. So you can see there's all different images in there, all made out of like diamond shapes to create these star shapes that you can see in there. I'm not sure you're going to be able to see a lot of it, but you can see that we do have that dimension at the back there. Okay. Then we have the Rows of Squares. So another geometric embossing folder. I'm sorry, Joanna, I am going a little bit quickly today. I just want to make sure I get through all this and then we can take a closer look at everything later on. So this one is the Rows of Squares. You can see that you've got different squares in there. Here is one way, and then if I flip that over, you can see that you can have the debossed look as well. Next up, we have the Tulips. And I'm not sure we have a card with this one, but I do have it embossed here at the side of me. So you can see that beautiful tulip design that we have there. Rather simple, but very, very pretty at the same time. Then we have the Baroque frame. And this one is going to just emboss that frame for you. And as you can see, I've fussy cut around this so I can use this as a frame on my card there. Then we have the simple frame. So 2 frames in this one. And with the simple frame, there is also a simple frame mask stencil, which you can use, oops, things stuck together, which you can use to kind of mask out the frame or mask out the center. So I think we'll give that one a go today. I'll move that to the side. Please let me know what you do want to see a closer look at as well. And last but not least, we have the Mod Squares. And this is going to give you kind of like pyramid shapes on your card. And you can get a different look by using the debossed side as well. So there we go. There are all of the embossing folders. And then we have some layering stencils. Now this one has been so popular. And this one is the flower bunch. So you're going to get 4 different stencils in there, but you're also going to get the masks too. So you're going to get those pieces that you can then mask off your images if you want to. And then we have the layering guide on the back of there. So we'll use that one as well, I would imagine, because it's very pretty. And then we have the mandala builder. This one comes in 3 separate stencils so that you can then layer them on top of each other using various different ink colors to create this really fabulous mandala effect there. The last one, it was the mod squares. So I think it was this one that you were talking about. This one is the mod squares. Yeah, it's pretty cool. And I just found a card with that one. I mean, you can see it's quite subtle at the back there. Okay. Narrow brick stencil is the last of our stencils. This is just a normal standalone stencil. It's going to give you that really cool look. And I think these are really on trend, these really thin tiles now for bathrooms and kitchens too. Okay, now we have the dies. This one is so pretty. So this one is the Climber Flowers die set. So if you did like the Morning Glory set of the crafter flower that we did, you are gonna love this one too. So this one, you can see that you have various different leaves and different flowers in that one to use. This is the floral lace. Now this is huge. So it's near enough 8 inches long. So you can use this on a scrapbook page and it will not get lost at all. We have the branches and berries, which is a great one to add into all of your floral clusters, just to add a little bit more texture, maybe poking from the back of them. String art stars. So it doesn't seem much there, but what you can do is you can take your thread and create really fun effects by kind of sewing through the little notches that you have. I didn't really think this out, so I didn't get it very symmetrical, but you can really have a fun time with that one. We also have a cover die in this release, and it's the Radial Butterflies cover die. So you can see that you're going to have all of these butterflies cut out, and then you can then use them on a different project, as well as that centerpiece to pop a sentiment on if you wanted to. Then we have the Nesting Slim Rectangles die set. So you can see that we have all of those really slim rectangles to use on all of your projects there. And last but not least in the dies, we have the Celebrate. Okay, I have a couple more things over to the side. So we have some new washi tapes. So we have the Leafy Dreams, I believe this one is called, with those beautiful greens on there, as well as that gold foiling. And then we have the Green Valley. So these ones are going to match the Green Valley inks there. Okay, and then last but not least, we have some new enamel dots in some beautiful colorways. So we have the Cherry Blossom, the Tea Party, the Glacier Caves, and also the Green Meadows. So that is all of the products. Please let us know what you would like to see. Otherwise, I'll just get straight stuck into crafting. But I think I'm going to go with that simple frame first. Okay. Let me know if you'd like me to maybe mix this with something else. But I'm going to show you how this would work. Just going to grab a panel. What I would do first is I have a little bit of the Altenew tape glue already on the back of this. And I would pop that into position where you want it to be on your card. Okay. There we go. Then I have the frame itself. And I would pop that in. I don't have glue behind that because I kind of want to use that as where I'm going to add my ink. And then I have the frame part of the frame. And again, I've got a little bit of glue tape on that there, so I can just place that around the frame that we have, making sure that I try not to move things. And pop that down. Once that's in position, I'm just going to remove the frame piece and move that off to the side there. Let's just ink this up with a random color that I have, one that's on the top. Let's go with the Canyon Clay. Just going to add some ink there. I do have my large die cutting machine off to the side of me today, because even though the Mini Blossom is my favorite, these large embossing folders won't actually fit through, which is a shame. Maybe we need to make smaller embossing folders that do fit through there. Hi there, everyone that has dropped in. Thank you so much for spending time with us. We're going through the Wondrous World release today. So that's the new standalone release that we had on Wednesday. Also, if you do share this live stream with your friends, with your crafty friends, you are in with a chance of winning a $15 gift certificate to the Ulta New Store. Now, I want that a bit darker, I think. I mean, we could go light. And I wouldn't worry too much about getting your your blending perfect, because we are going to be embossing this. So I think it's going to take away some of those discrepancies that we do have in the blending. Okay, so if I now add some glue behind this, so I've just got my Ulta New tape glue. Okay, I'm going to take some of that off and pop that into place. Okay, and then where did I pop my little pin? I think I put it away, which was very unlike me. I can remove this piece. Oh, that bit's not sticking because we do have that ink down there. So if you did leave that to dry a little bit more, you would be fine. If you do get a little bit of adhesive like I have there, just take an eraser. Even the stamp conditioning eraser will work to get rid of that. Okay, and I've seen someone wanted to see the layering flower. Now this one does take a little bit of putting together, but I think it's definitely worth it. So I'm going to start with the base layer. And let's go green, you know, for the leaves. And what greens do I have? I have some bright ones and I have some not so bright ones. Let's go with the not so bright, shall we? So I think these ones are the Nature's Wonders, I believe. Okay, so I'm going to go with the marshland first. And I'm going to pop this stencil where I want it to be. Remember, we are going through that frame. You may just want to keep your finger on that frame part so it doesn't move. And I find with layering stencils like this, I don't feel like I need to tack them down like I do with large ones, because yeah, I just don't. So there is the first layer. Oh, actually, this one was the first layer. Let's pop that in again and pop the first layer back on and then do the second layer. Sorry, everyone. We all knew that was going to go wrong at some point. May as well be at the beginning. Hopefully, we've got it out of the way. Okay, so again, this is the Marshland ink, and I am using the small blending tools from Ulta New. Okay, so that's my first layer. If I could, I would have edited that little mistake out. But never mind. So I'm just lining up this large flower that we have in the center. And I'm going to move over to Sea Forest. Okay. Yeah, we haven't had as much snow now. I think it's stopped. So I really, I hope that if you are somewhere with snow and you want it gone, I hope it does go for you quickly. So this one is the Sea Forest. Now we do have the same color with the some of the watercolor markers in this color too. So there is the Sea Forest. Move that over, and then there was another layer to this. So we have 3 layers for the leaves. And as you can see, I'm still using the same blending tool for all of the greens because I'm going up in the colors, so I don't really need to worry about it too much. So I'm just trying to line that up. Maybe I've got it the wrong way. Yep, yeah, I did. So I'm just going to line that flower up in the center. And we're going to go with mangrove root. No, the layering stencils aren't labeled. I mean, that would be a good idea. I'll see if I can put that forward to the team. But you do have the layering guide on the back, so you can see which ones go where. But I've used this stencil 2 or 3 times, and I've already got the hang of where things should be going. So it's once you've got your head around it, it's really quite easy to do. I just should have looked at these stencils a little bit more before placing my first one down. That was where I went a little bit wrong. Okay, so I've got that down. And let's go with those pinky colors again that we were using before that I used for that. So I want the Canyon Clay, the Pastel Sunrise, and the Burnt Red. And then we have our flowers. Again, pop that into position. And ink away. Now this Pastel Sunrise is really, really light, and especially because we're using a blending tool, it will look lighter as well. So if you wanted to go up in shades, that's completely doable. It's just going to give me a really light base color for these flowers. Okay, and then we're going to take the second layer for the flowers, and it's going to fit round about here. So I'm just lining up this curve with this curve here, and I'm going to go in with the Canyon Clay. So this is the same color that we did use on the frame. I just love how easy it is to color something just with a ink blender, and also you're going to get that really cool gradient effect that is really hard to achieve with a stamped image too. It's going to give you a softer look that way. So that one is the Canyon Clay. Then I'm going to turn this around. No, I'm not. I'm just going to place it back there. And you can see that the center points line up, this one and this one. I'm going to go with Burnt Red. Same blending tool for all of my ready peachy colors. Okay, and then we have some flower centers. I'm just going to move back to my greens for this. So I'm going to go with the Sea Forest first. I mean, you could definitely add in a grey color if you wanted. Just going to move that over. Oh, I'm going to do these centers first. There we go. So I just added, lined up the centers. That's the Sea Forest and then the Mangrove Root. Ooh, Dorothy, which crafter flower are you playing with? Line this one up. There we go. And this one is the Mangrove Root. Oops. Slightly shifted. Oh, Connie, yeah, these are so easy. I do love these very much. So there we go. there's the flowers, and then we have some bud images. I'm going to go with blues for these. I'm trying to think if I've got a lighter one. I should have, but everything's just stacked up, so I'm trying to grab as many inks as I could. So I'm going to go with Icy Water. Pop that into position. You can see how easy these are just to line up. There's your Icy Water. I'm just going to turn. And I'm going to go with Winter Lake for my next piece. Oops. Oh, stay there, please. There we go. Oh, Sue, no. I really believe that you will get it. And I think after the first 3 goes of using the guide at the back, I reckon you'll get it straight off. It's just really easy. Once you know where them pieces are going, there's going to be no stopping you. So I have my pieces. Just look how pretty that is. And if you wanted to, you could cover those with the mask pieces that we do have in the set and then add a dark background. I'm not going to do that today, but what I can do now is I can remove this piece. And you can see that I haven't gone over my frame, which is so cool. And then I can take this off very gently, because remember, I do have a little bit of adhesive on there. And there you go. You can see that we've got the frame. Then I'm going to take the Simple Frame embossing folder. I'm going to need some tape for this. Okay. I got some purple tape, but I don't think I got the right one. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to line that up from behind once I'm happy with the placement. I mean, I'm not going to get it perfect. I don't have too much time. And we've only just done the first one. Oops. And what I'm going to do is once I have that in place, I've taped it down. And I'm then going to run that through my die cutting machine. I'm just going to sneak off the screen for a little minute while I do run that through. Remember, you do need to play around with your plates because you don't want to force this through your machine. So I'm just going to take this and I'm just going to run it through. Okay. So I just got my embossing folder just on a chair to the side. So, okay, so I ran that through my embossing folder. I mean, my die cutter with the embossing folder. I can remove the tape. Hey! So as well as having that masked image at the, doesn't look great with that down the side. Okay. Oh, well, that didn't work, Lydia. You just have to fold that over. There we go. But you can see that we have that really beautiful layering stencil in the center of that frame that we've also masked out too. Yeah, you can do, Anya, but because these are dye inks, if I did spritz this, they would move around. So that's the reason I didn't spritz it before. I would only spritz my card if I didn't have any ink on it, or if it was colored cardstock, I could then give it a spritz and then run it through. But I mean, I've got a couple of little pieces that have come up a little bit more than I would have liked, but I don't think it's that noticeable. Okay. Look how pretty it is. Okay. So, which other products do you lovely people want to see? Oh, you could spritz the back. Yes, you could. Okay. So, trying to look at the things that we've got to play with because we've got so much. Right. I have this beautiful floral lace die. So let's have a go with this, shall we? And I just want you to see how beautifully detailed this is when it does get run through the machine. I do have one of those rolly things now to get rid of the inside pieces. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take a piece of cardstock. But as you can see, this is a normal size piece of cardstock and it is huge. So let's just run that like that. And it is thick. I maybe shouldn't be using such thick cardstock on it. Let's add a bit of colour to this before we run it through. And I'm going to want my big tools. So I have some Lagoon, which, you know, is probably not going to surprise everyone. Okay. So let's go with some Lagoon. And this is the large blending tool. And maybe we add a bit of lime green in there. I know I have some lime green, some Parrot. That's the very fellow. That's the one we need. I should have changed my brush, but it'll be okay. Ooh, the mandala. Yes, we can have a go with the mandala. Connie, yes, we do sell cardstock on the Altnew web page. I'm using the cardstock that we do have over there, which is the Nina Solar White. And this one is the £110. So this one is the thicker one of the two. Okay, so I've added some ink down there. So, okay. And then I'm going to take this. And I'm hoping it's not going to take too many goes to go through. Adding a little tape, even though that it's really quite, I'm trying to think of the word, quite damp. So I'm just going to run this through. I will give it about 3 goes. Please let me know what you think this would work well with. Okay, so I've run it through twice. I'm hoping that's going to be enough. Nope, I just need a little bit of a shim in there maybe. Just to give it a bit more purchase. If it doesn't quite cut properly, I can show you the one that I have on another card. But I think we should be okay. I may have twisted it slightly, but yay. So yeah, it did go off a little bit when I ran it through that second time. I should have made sure that it was properly stuck down. Yeah, okay. I wouldn't be able to fit it all on a card anyway. But I'm going to need a rolly jig. I mean, I'm not going to have time to get it all out because I want to get onto something else. But you can see that you're going to have some really great detail on there. I'm just going to find the card that we do have that on. The stencil that I used before was the Flower Bunch stencil, if that's the one that you were referring to. Ugh. Okay. Yep, there we go. I do need a bigger desk, like the size of a kitchen table, I think, but you can see just how beautiful that is when you do die cut it properly and get all of the bits out. But it does take a little time to get all those bits out, but I just love how pretty that is there. Okay, so that is that one. Someone asked about the Mandala Stencil, so I will get that one out over here. And so we have 3 different stencils for this one. And I always find it's easier to use the larger one first, and that's what it does recommend on the back of the packaging. So let's pop that down. And instead of popping it in the middle like I always do, I'm going to pop it off to the side. So I'm going to have it down here. You could add a little bit of tape if you want. These larger ones I normally do. Yeah, Rachel, I would imagine it would be more mess, and I would not clear it as often, but I do get very, very messy with my desk. Okay, so I'm just going to use some Parrot and add that through the stencil. I'm using the large blending tool because it's a large stencil that I am going over. If you did want to kind of pick and mix different colors on this as well, you could use the smaller ones to kind of get into the smaller spaces just in different places too. Okay, so there's one. Remove. Let's go for the second layer. I'm going to go with this one. I think from there it doesn't really matter where you go. I kind of line that up. Doesn't need to be perfect. I'm kind of lining these flowers up within those open, I think they're flowers, they may be stems. Let's go with emerald. You know me. Emeralds and greens. Some blues. Some pinks. Run that through. Oh, this one is very, very vibrant. I did just ink this up though. I give him a nice bit of a refresh. He deserved it. Okay. See just how quick that is, especially to make up this really pretty mandala. Move that one out. And then we have another layer, which I'm going to go with some pink. And I'm lining these up with those little stems that I thought were flowers, but are in fact stems this time. Oops, I've moved it. Okay, I think we'll be all right. So this one is the Coral Bliss. Please let me know what you would like to see next, because I'm very nearly finished with this one. Yeah. And then time for the big reveal. And there we go. Just look how cute that is. I should have masked stuff down there, but you can see just how quick and easy it is to create that really beautiful mandala that we have there. It looks so cool. Okay, so I'll move that over into my washing pile. Sue, favorite of this release. Okay, so I do love some of the 3D embossing folders, and I think that Mod Squares is my favorite, but I am also really loving the flower bunch stencil that we've already used today. So yes, we've created 2 things, and yeah, I just really love that flower bunch stencil. Okay. All right, so I'm trying to see what we've got over here. I think we should maybe have a go with the climber flowers. I mean, you know, let's have a little go. So we have a number of different layers for the flowers. I'm not going to do the centerpiece because it can be a little fiddly, but I just wanted to show you how beautiful these flowers do look when they come together. So we have the 3 different layers for these. I'm going to use my mini blossom, so I'm not going to run away this time. And I'm just going to grab some cardstock. Maybe we do some yellow ones. Okay, so when you look at the packaging, it does show you which kind of colored cardstock you need to go for these. So I'm going to need a light, a medium, and a dark. So this is the summer afternoon cardstock set if you wanted some yellows. And this one with the largest flower here is going to be the base for one of them, the larger flower, but also the top part of the smaller flower. So it's both on one. So you can quickly and easily run that through. I have all of the ink behind this. So if you hear things tumble onto the floor, it's pushing it off. So I have those pieces there. Okay, so there's that. And then we're going to need this piece for our mid-tone. Yeah, so that's a really great point. You can also just pop it out the side if you wanted to as well, but it's great that it does have that slit there, so it helps you kind of line things up. Okay, maybe I should have ran that through another go. That's what I'm going to do. So if you do find that it hasn't cut the first time, just kind of place it on and move it around. And what it's going to do, it's going to dig in at one point, and that's how you know that's where it needs to be. I'll go in and then out. The flower and the frame. So the flower that I used was the Flower Bunch Simple Colouring Stencil. And the frame that I used was the simple frame. I used the embossing folder and also the stencil, so I could kind of stencil and mask off pieces of that to add various different colours here and there. And then I have this last piece, which is going to be our lightest colour. But there is so many different things in this release, and I do love a lot, you know, a lot of it. It's hard to choose a favourite, but that Flower Bunch stencil, it's just stunning. I just love how easy it is. Thank you, Joanna, for popping in the links. You are my star. Okay, so I have these cut. I'm just going to do the flowers, but, you know, when you're at home, those leaves are going to be just as easy to get right too. Just pop that over there. Please don't fall on the floor. I'm going to need you. And then get rid of the innie pieces. So there's little pieces here and there that just need popping out. So here are the images that we have. Now, when I do these, I always add glue to the back of the piece. So you're not going to add it where you don't need it on the bottom. Just going to line this up. Maybe instead of using the leaves and that said, we could use the branches and berries. You know, mix things up a little. That didn't want to lift up for me. I just had to slide it off the desk. Sorry, everyone. And Remember, there is a center for this as well. Just chose not to use it, so you'd have a little center in there too. These are really easy to line up. Oops, missed him. I think you could probably go either way. Depends how you want to use it. Okay, so there we go. So for this one, you would have another piece. So on this leaf here that you can then attach this flower to. But I'm going to use this one. Just going to grab out some of these little dies. Oops, come on. I'm going to need some green cardstock. Yep, we definitely do need some new colors of gradient cardstock. What colors would you go for if you could choose? Please let me know. I'm intrigued. I am going to use my metal shim with this because these are really quite delicate and detailed. And like I said, when you're using your metal shim, you're going to want to make sure it's away from that edge. So it's kind of making it into a wedge. Run that through, run it in and then out. Yes, so yeah, definitely new greens. The limey greens. I don't know. There's just so many beautiful greens and blues. Yeah, I don't think we've got a true blue there. We have the lagoony colors. We haven't got like a blue color. Okay, so I'm just going to pop them out. Okay. Move them over to the side. My desk. And I'm thinking, because it's such a big trend at the minute, maybe we do a slimline. And I'm wondering if one of these little slimline panels will fit on here. I mean, it will. I can turn it around, but I may just run it through the large one that I have to the side. It shouldn't take too much pressure that way. So I'm just going to grab some scissors, just trim this down. Yeah, the floral layering dies are amazing, Sharon. There are some really large ones and there's also some smaller ones. It depends on what kind of look you want to go for, but you could definitely just make loads and loads of these ones. Oops. Okay, it started. I've started chucking rubbish on the floor. So I've cut my panel and it does leave a really pretty edge around. Hopefully you can see it, kind of a really thin debossed line there. Let's go with an embossing folder, shall we? And we're going to kind of draw this pattern out a little bit more. Okay, so I'm going to just pop it into place wherever you want it to be. This will leave a slight line, but we're going to be able to disguise that with maybe a sentiment or even our image. Right, I don't want to get it too much on my thing, but I do want to make sure it's nice and straight, and I can then run that through. Oh, sorry, everyone. I do need him like a medium die cutting machine. Okay, so I'm just running that through. Hopefully it's not going to fall on the floor. Okay, which it nearly did. It very, very nearly did. Okay, so when I take this out, you can see that we have that embossing, but it's not gone all the way through. Now you can either push this through here like the lovely Sue mentioned, or you can just add it out of the bottom piece. So what you're going to need to do is you're just going to need, like a stamp, like a die cut image, you're just going to want to move this around until it kind of clicks into place. Okay. And once you're happy with things lining up, you're going to want to add a little bit more tape and then run that through again. Or you could just leave that bit if you wanted to. Maybe just stamp your sentiment onto. This is going to be the last time I disappear off screen. Oops, there we go. Willing it not to fall. Okay, so there we go. Okay, so you can see that we do have a little bit of a line where this part of the folder, so we do have a gap between the end, has been. So when you do this, you will need to kind of disguise that. But what you can do is you can either use a sentiment strip, which would be easy, or also some flowers. Now you don't necessarily have to disguise it all, I don't think. Just doing most of it will work. Get some foam tape. So the one that I just used was in fact the mod squares. I'm sorry, I didn't mention that as I was working with it. For those small pieces, I should, thinking about it now, have added some double-sided adhesive to the back of them. But never fear. We have some glue that we can use. This one's new. There you go. Just going to add that precision glue on that. Stick that down, and then we got this last one here too. Okay. But as you can see, because we've got those images there, that strip where we've kind of connected isn't as noticeable. I mean, it is noticeable, but you can definitely, maybe we could just add something else to kind of cover that up too. Washi tape, where are you? Yeah, I should have put this on before I put the flower on. So I'm just going to kind of tuck it in underneath. It would have looked a lot better if I'd have popped this on before I did it. Yeah, that slim washi tape that we have there is going to be the perfect companion of disguising that little line that we do have there. So this one was the Climate Flowers die set. as well as the modern squares for the mod squares, sorry, for the background. And also those little branches that we have are the branches and berries too. Okay, so we have 3 different, and then we also added some of that Green Valley Slim Washi tape just to kind of disguise that little edge that we have going on there. So here are the ones that we created today. I know I didn't get to finish this one off, but I just think a little sentiment circle would be really pretty on there, and then another sentiment there. We just didn't add any sentiments. So, okay, everyone, I am going to move you up now. And there we go. Hello there, everyone. Thank you so much for spending your afternoon or your evening or your morning with me. No matter what time of day it is, thank you for spending the past hour with me. It has been lovely spending this time with you and playing with all of these really cool products that we did have in the release on Wednesday. So again, everyone, thank you so much for watching, and we will see you again next week. See you soon. Bye-bye.